Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, we probably have one of the last gear builds, or at least healing builds, for a very long time, or at least for the entirety of this year. We've done a lot of healing build videos, and, sorry about that, my throat. Getting all choked up from the builds we've done. Now, this one's pretty fun, and of course the entire gear set I am wearing, if you've seen the videos, is from challenge mode in Salinopolis. You have to get all of those badges, and let me just tell you, it's going to take you a little bit if you are curious on getting it. But pretty fun entire gear set in general. The design of it is pretty nice, but also this build is also pretty fun too, and I've been using that for lately, and yeah, it's really fun. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, we'll go over the few disclaimers. Of course, it's not a PvP build. It's not a challenge mode build. This isn't really a free-to-play build at all. It's actually very expensive. Just a fun build I thought was pretty fun and funny as well. I'm not going to tell you exactly what specific stat we'll be focusing on, but towards the end of the video, you'll kind of get a gist about, you know, what we're going for. It's going to be actually lower outgoing than some of our other previous builds. So if you want more outgoing, check out those builds. But this one, I actually really like this one, and I think I might stick with this for a very long time. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now first, let me just turn this off just in case it brings up my stats. I don't want to spoil the stats just yet. There we go. Now we're back. Now we're back. Okay. So anyway, it's going to be the similar pieces to our other heal build videos. I'm not going to take too long with this video. So we got the internal inspired helm, which has some nice health, nice pip chance, nice critical block, nice resist, nice accuracy, critical, a little bit of damage, and some shadow pip rating. Now for this, for most of your healing builds, you're always going to want to put a mending square socket, or not a square socket, which you also need later on, but for the shield pins in general, it's always going to be something that will increase your outgoing. So as you can see here, we got the, right here, 29% outgoing. Now this is for life only. The outgoing pins are going to vary on your school, so if you're maybe like a death wizard, it might be a lower percent, but if you're a life wizard, it can go up to 29%. So make sure to farm for those 29%, because those 29% shield pins those are really good. You have, of course, you gotta be a level 160 to use it. Let me just move my fat head out of here. Let me put me in the corner right here. Yeah, let's put me up here, like right around here. But yeah, level 160 to use it, you get plus 29% outgoing. So already off the bat, you're good for the hat, and you can put whatever you want for the sword pins, because it will depend on whatever you want to try and dual school with. Now for the robe, we have the Falconine armor, which is part of the Krakatopia River Palace bundle, which was released recently this year, and this one is GameStop exclusive, and this one is a very good upgrade to the Spooky Carnival robe. You get a chunk of health, you get a nice pip chance, you get some universal accuracy, a ton of critical block rating, and also, which we haven't seen before with a lot of Jade robes, at least not in quite some time, is that it actually comes with critical. So it comes with 82% universal critical. That's awesome. 21% resist to all schools, which is awesome, and 25 outgoing with 5% chance at pierce, or 5 pierce. And then also you get this celestial intervention spell, which I haven't really used a whole lot, and I could have sworn in our other videos that this was actually protected. So I'm thinking in one of those little stealth updates they actually probably removed the protection. So now this will just give you a regular absorb shield without the protection added to it. I don't know if they removed that. I have to check back with my videos, but I could have sworn that this had a protection on it. So since it doesn't, I'm probably not even going to use it to begin with. So maybe you want to dual school into ice and just use this on someone. I don't know. It's not really good. I would prefer the Kiss of Death spell on the Spooky Carnival robe a lot better than this one. But you know, it is what it is. I'd rather just have the stats rather than that spell card. And then for the boots, pretty much the same thing. We're using the Eternal set. You can get the Eternal set from Novus. You know, this is all Novus gear, quite frankly. So the hat and boots you get from Novus. The robe you get from a bundle. And then, you know, same stats. Good chunk of health, and for the shield pins you want to put a 29% outgoing, and it depends on whatever you want to put on your power pins. I just put an accuracy jewel or pin for storm since I use storm spells a lot. So yeah, again, it really depends on what you want to do, but for the shield pins I highly recommend the outgoing pins, especially if you're going for something on a healing build scale. But for the sword pins and the power pins, you can put whatever you want for that. You know, I'm not going to bother you with that. Now for the wand. This one is insane. This wand is all over the place. This is the Mad Animancer's Candle Bar. And this is from the, whatchamacallit, the Mad Animancer's bundle as well. I think that's available on the online card. I'm not too sure. I think it might be also a GameStop exclusive, but this wand is all over the place, dude. 82 critical, or not 82, my bad, 82 critical block, 62 critical, 20% outgoing, 2%, or at least 2 pips at the start of the battle, which is absolutely insane, 6% overall power pip chance, 4% universal accuracy, 182 pip conversion rating to all your schools, which you don't even need that much pip conversion. And also the outgoing you can put on for a square socket. You can put on a health jewel. For me, I put on the plus 8%. You can get the plus 8% from most of these worlds, I think, through Novus? Not Novus, like Wallaroo or something like that. And it also comes with 2 spell cards as well, which are really, really fun. You have Regenerate, which is the bottom path. It's pretty decent. It will basically give the target 2 heal overtimes instead of the occasional 1. And then you have Minor Blessing as well, which is a 0 pip kind of heal. You don't really use it much, but it's pretty nice to have. Pretty handy. Now for the theme, we have something that I don't think a lot of people are going to get anytime soon. Because it is a raid item, and you know, I try not to include the raid items as much because I know a lot of people don't like raiding. This actually comes from the first raid, but I think now raids are kind of slowly fizzling away, and it's kind of harder for people to kind of reach out and find a really nice guild. I mean, I used to raid all the time, but everybody just gave up, and I gave up, and I just got tired of it. Trying to get 12 people, I think, is probably the hardest part. Not even the loot drops. It's just trying to get all those people together and understand what they have to do. But the Void's Lively Aethum is a pretty nice balance of theme. You could also go for the one in Wallaroo as a nice little alternative. So you probably don't even have to even use this one. But I like this one. Pretty solid. Could honestly probably use an upgrade as well. Could honestly probably change this. I just don't feel like farming for the plus 8% jewels, at least the circle socket ones, and I really wish there was a recipe to craft these jewels because they are very hard to get. You can get some in the Crying Sky raid, but like I said, I don't like raiding anymore. I just really wish they were easier to get. They used to be easy to get, and all of a sudden they stopped being easy. But yeah, it comes with 1k health, 232 mana, 19 power pip rating, which is nice, 108 critical block, 17 life damage, 11% outgoing, right? Of course, you can use the Dark Woman's Dagger for more, but I'm not including that because that gear set, or at least gear, doesn't exist. Remember, we talked about that with the whole gear overhaul that they were doing, blah, blah, blah. They changed the loot drops, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, for this, I have an Arc Mastery rating to all schools. You don't have to put that as a tier jewel. You can put whatever you want as a tier jewel. You can even use item cards as well in a tier jewel socket. I just decided to put an Arc Mastery rating because why not? And then for the 2 circle jewels, I have 8%, you know, just as usual. And then for the triangle socket, I have a plus 62% in power pip conversion, or at least pip conversion with life. And you can craft these as well. Highly recommend crafting them, or at least farming for them. Not too hard to get. And then for the amulet, we have the Vibrant Archival Ample. This is from the Forgotten Library gauntlet or pack. You can farm the gauntlet in order to get enough reagents to actually craft this. And this is a really nice amulet to have. 728 max health, and then 10% universal resist, which is a lot of resist on the amulet. 98 life pip conversion, and then 76 critical block, and then 98% universal power pip conversion. And then over here we got the square socket. We're gonna put a plus 775 health on it, and then for the triangle we're gonna put a plus 62% life pip conversion on there as well. Hopefully you guys are getting a hint at what kind of build this slowly is becoming. And then for this, it also comes with the Brace spell and also a Spirit Blade item card. So pretty cool spells if you're playing with a other type of life, death, or myth. And then over here for the ring, we have the Stone of the Other Side, which of course is one of my favorite rings in the game. 242 health. You know, there's a very outdated ring. It's level 78, and nothing has quite yet touched it or piqued my interest. I know you guys are going to say, Ring of the Dying Star. No, bro. Nobody is farming Ring of the Dying Star. Give it up, bro. Give it up, dude. Enough with that, dude. We're not doing that. Now, for the tier jewel, again, you can put whatever you want with it. I just put health so I can reach a certain health point. You could put even item cards in there, or even more Arc Mastery. You can do whatever you want for the tier jewels. But for the circle jewel, I have a 8%. Honestly, if you ever get a circle 8% outgoing jewel, keep it and lock it and put it in a jewel vault, because, again, I don't know why those are so hard to get. I don't know why they're so hard to get. And then for the square socket, you can put a health jewel as well. If you want more outgoing, you can replace all the squares with outgoing. You don't have to just make it health. As a matter of fact, I might do that for my next build, but I just wanted a little bit more survivability and just wanted a little bit more health, you know? But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Now for the pet, this is fairly a new pet. I can't remember the last time I introduced this pet or not, but it's the Dryad. I made it to Ultra, you know, just a flex. It comes with a few spell cards, which are pretty cool. Comes with a Life Blade item card, and then it comes with the Spree Swarm item card as well. And it also comes with Hammer Dryad, which we talked about is probably a very versatile healing spell to use. Now in other news, I got 5% resist to all school, which is spell proof, spell defy, or yeah, in whatever order you want. We also got Maycast Legion Shield, which is absolutely amazing. Maycast Unicorn, and of course we have that Pigsy Jewel, which is basically going to give us a 4% outgoing boost, and also a chance at, you know, doing a Maycast Pigsy, and also a 8%. Now the Maycast Pigsy is going to be at the top path, right? So it's going to do a base of 750. That is a very good heal, mixed in with all the outgoing that we have. And then for the mount, as always, we have the Mammoth Mini Mount, which is definitely a mount I highly recommend. I thought that you could farm for it. Apparently, they actually removed this mount from the dropped location up in Jewel Sloped. So the only way to pretty much get this mount, I guess, is through buying it, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't make this game. I don't make this game, dude. And then we got the deck, which the deck is actually pretty interesting. You can get this from farming Takanobu the Masterless. It's a pretty solid deck. You get a ton of Arc Mastery, which is a plus 62. You get 84 critical block, 71 critical, 120 life pip conversion, and then you get a +1 starting pip at the, you know, whenever you spawn in or your first turn. Basically, then for the circle socket, I did not have a 8%, but I had a 7%. So that is at a plus 7% outgoing. And then it also comes with the item card Dark Surge. If you don't know what Dark Surge is, basically for the cost of 1 Shadow Pip, you can give a target 2 individual Power Pips, which is really good for pip control. So I highly recommend that, or at least training up that spell, because that's a very good support spell to use, especially if you're not using your Shadow Pips at all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys figured out the hint about what this build is primarily based on. because we're about to reveal the overall stats. So let's go into it. Not my badges. You don't gotta look at my badges. Nah. So our total health is at 13,103. I wanted to get the 13k. That's kind of like why I use some of those health jewels. But if you wanted more outgoing, you could definitely replace that with the... honestly, I might do that in the end. Or, nah, not really, honestly. Yeah, you can't really do much with the tier jewels. Like I said, you could always put, like, maybe an item card feint in there, or an item card blade or trap, whatever you want. But yeah, I just wanted to get up to like the 13k range at least. You can put whatever you want for the teal jewels, but our max mana is at 558. Damage we're not worried about. Our universal resist is at 74. Of course, it can go higher if you got a pet with mighty or wanted to go for a more tanky set. Our accuracy is at 22%. A lot of people have talked about, accuracy, how low it can get. For life, you only need about 20-ish accuracy. Of course, it's going to suck if you get mantled, but you don't. We already did our accuracy build, which we had a ton of accuracy. It was just... I think it was up to like 50 like life accuracy or something like that. Like, it had to be up to like 50. It was just ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. But yeah, for the life accuracy, we're doing pretty good. For the critical, it's at 419. For the block rating, it's at 807. Then for the armor piercing, we don't care about. No stun resist because KI doesn't give us any stun resist gear. We have no incoming healing because they don't give us any incoming healing gear as well. But our outgoing is set for 200% on the dot. And like I said, it can go way higher if we replaced all of the health jewels and stuff. But remember, if we were to do that, our health would probably go down all the way like maybe 12k or at least 11k, somewhere around that range. So I'm not sure if a lot of people would like that. You can go for health builds if you want. It really depends on your playstyle. And then over here we have the pip conversion, which is 280 universal for all the schools, except for life. Now, you'll probably notice something about the life one. Why does the life one say 102, Richard? Why does it say that? I wonder why. Here's the thing, though. Our pip conversion is through the roof, and hopefully you notice that throughout the entire video. Our pip conversion stat is so far off the charts that it actually does not fit on the entire page of this stat page. We're actually up to 1,000 life pip conversion. I kid you not. That's how much pip conversion we have. It's so far through the roof that our total pip conversion is at 100%. That is busted and broken. And I love it. This is probably one of our most broken builds that we have done. You're probably wondering, well, Richard, what is pip conversion? It was first introduced in Mirage, and nobody really used it as much. It was kind of like a weird stat. Basically, if you used like odd number spells and you had like a full row of power pips, maybe like a Sprite Swarm, which is like 3 pips, you would actually conserve a pip. Like, you would have a white pip spawn in front of you, and I'll show some gameplay demonstration of that in a moment. But yeah, this is like our power pips are set at 103, our shadow pip rating is at 112, and our arc mastery rating is at 212, which it could probably go bigger. Now, like I said, there's definitely improvements that can be done in this build. If you want more health, you could definitely go for a health build. If you definitely want more outgoing, you can definitely get more outgoing. I think 200 is a very good spot to be at. If anybody is ever at 200 outgoing, that's amazing. Most of the time, I see a lot of lower levels that are probably at like 100 outgoing just because they don't have the power pin system unlocked yet. So again, if you're at like 200% outgoing, I think that's perfect. If you want to go even further, you probably get up to even 300, right? It's up to you on whatever you want to do, but this build is so much fun. Now let me show you the gameplay of this build in general, because this thing is so ridiculous. It's actually insane. Like, it's actually insane. So I'm going to show you real quick about how this build works, especially with the pips, because we are going to be starting off with a lot of like single pips, right? A lot of white pips. We're gonna be starting off with a lot of that. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to use it if you were to try to mimic this build. It mainly comes from the deck and also that wand that we have, because that wand that we have is actually going to spawn us in with 2 of those white pips, right? So a lot of people aren't usually used to starting off with pips like that. It might depend on, of course, your play style. And like I said, this is just a funny build for me that I have started to fall in love with. I absolutely love it. So I'll just put these spells in. We'll put in like a side hit. Oh god, yeah, all of that can go away. We're not doing no more challenge mode. We can get rid of all of that. I'm gonna go test it out on our lucky, handy dandy lost soul. And I'm gonna show you. So watch the pips. Look at that. We start with three white pips, and we start off with a power pip. And of course, you can set your arc mastery to whatever you want. It could be a storm pip, a life pip. You can start off with whatever you want, right? I started off as storm because I use a lot of storm blades, like the energy weaving blades. So let me show you. We're gonna dump all of this. Critical is also nice too. Let this lost soul hit me real quick. So now what we're gonna do, right? Look at that, we got a shadow pip already. We're gonna do dark surge. Let's do it. I'm not sure if the shadow pip rating includes stuff like unicorn way. I don't know if it's adjusted dependent on the enemy you're fighting. But regardless though, we're gonna use dark surge, which I highly recommend for a cost of a shadow pip. That's gonna give me 2 power pips. So over here we have 4 power pips, right? Which equals 8. So let's say, for example, we use a spell like Chwaret. This costs 7 pips. So it's going to use all, and I mean all, of our power pips, right? So we're going to use this, and then we're going to see what happens, right? It always sucks using odd number type of spells, because you don't want all of your power pips to be gone, right? Also, this is a pretty cool spell. Love it. And that was a spell fusion version as well. And then, did you notice something about our pips? We have 1 white pip. Did you see that? Look at that. Now we're going to do Sprite Swarm real quick. Did you see that? We got 1 white pip. So now we're going to do it again with a spell such as Hammer Dryad, which comes from your pet. This is also a 7 pip spell. Now remember, we had a full row of power pips. Nice critical. And look at that. We got another white pip. So now we're going to save up some more pips and do Scion. And another white pip.